Every day is a day we get closer to Sonic Frontiers 2, and I think this game could be a huge step forward for the franchise if they do these 5 things. Well, at least 4 of them. The 5th one is kind of out there, it's a bit crazy. You can judge me for that one all you want, but the first 4 everyone should agree on. So let's get right into it. Number 1, no more 2D sections. Like, come on. It's 2025, gonna be 2026 when this game comes out, probably. Hopefully. We can't have 2D sections, especially in an open zone game. This is an open world game. It's bad enough that they're in the cyberspace levels. We'll get to that later. But why is there a whole island effectively dedicated to 2D, effectively dedicated to the Azuka style level design? Do they make that as like, here you go, Azuka, here's your 2D island? Try to then chuck some wisps in there. No more 2D, especially in the open zone. Like, just in general, no 2D in the cyberspace. It's Big Boy 2026. 3D Sonic can be 3D the whole time. We shouldn't have to worry about system limitations or budgets. Sonic is at the top of his game, so no more 2D. And then stemming from the no 2D, just in general, make cyberspace actually good. We've just come off Shadow Generations, phenomenal boost level design. We've had games like Unleashed, Day Stages, Generations Modern Stages. We've seen the boost be used in phenomenal ways, in different ways too. Like, even if we're including the 2D sections, in the games I just listed, the 2D sections are actually designed well, but I'd still rather, at the very least, keep them to a minimum in the cyberspace levels. But just in general, make the level design good. And at least you have the high octane, high speed, reaction-based boost stages. In Generations, you have a bit more openness. You can still speedrun them, but bit more pathways, bit more openness to roam around in. We've seen enough good boost level design and just good level design in Sonic games to then have to deal with the shitty cyberspace. No more colors, blocky levels, no more forces automation, and no more cyberspace with the reused, rehashed level design that ends up still being shit. You took good level design and made it shit. That's incredible. And to further stem on the cyberspace part, you can tell what part of Sonic games I care about. I don't really give a shit about the open zone. Well, a little bit, but yeah. Better controls. And by that, I mean the Shadow Generations controls, because my god, Shadow controls nearly perfectly. Like his non-boosting, roaming around control, especially in the open zone, it feels very close to the adventure games. And speaking of the adventure games, I want that spin dash back. I know we get it in the Frontiers DLC, but I want the proper Adventure 1 spin dash, because it's an open zone. Maybe you can take it out for the boost levels if you really have to. It feels a bit too contradicting. I don't really see why. But at least in the open zone, they should have the option of a spin dash. Because just spin dashing off, if that's even a word, spin dashing, that's a new word, off of like cliffs and just getting good momentum, like rolling, that has to be in Frontiers too. Like, even Mario Odyssey has the rolling physics, and it's just a classic staple of Sonic since the first game. This is the perfect opportunity to put that into 3D. That's the whole reason you think of an open world Sonic game, is the momentum. So yeah, controls need to be perfect. Right, this is again something that was in the Frontiers 1 DLC, multiple playable characters. We saw Tails, Knuckles, Amy. Them 3 with Sonic seem to be like the main, like, quadruple group since like the Ian Flynn type era, end of the meta era. We've started integrating more of the friends, and that group seems to be like the reoccurring people, which makes sense. But if on top of that, if we could add Shadow, which we've just seen in Shadow Generations, we know he's going to be in movie 4 as well, so you can definitely make that excuse to keep him in the games. Silver and Blaze, I know those are a bit out there, maybe as more post-game content or DLC, but just to give those characters some love, because they have huge potential, especially in an open zone type game that has a mix of the cyberspace levels. You can do so much with that, like Silver in open zone, and all the puzzles in there, like that just is perfection. I would play just a Silver Frontiers type game, where he's in like the dystopian future. It's an open zone, it's all like in ruin. It doesn't have to be dystopian future, but just the idea. If we were sort of doing a soft reboot of the franchise, you can't need a soft reboot Silver to explain why he keeps coming back in the games. Oh, that'd be so good. And then all the levels are him like time traveling to different times to like try and stop this future, whatever. That just sounds amazing. That's a whole different video. But yeah, multiple playable characters. The Frontiers 1 DLC gives me hope, and Shadow Generations gives me hope that we're going to see more playable characters than just Sonic, and hopefully no more classic Sonic. Now, this fifth point is a bit out there. A team mechanic. Now, hold up, before the pitchforks come out, any of you guys play Sonic Dream Team? I actually haven't played it, but I saw some footage of it, and I was like, oh, you can swap between characters. That's kind of cool. And even though the Heroes remake, if it was in development, seems to reportedly have also been cancelled, I still think that should happen, because movie 4 is going to have Amy and Metal Sonic, so I think it still makes sense for it to happen. But regardless, that game will have a team mechanic. The Sonic Dream Team mechanic can be transferred over into a Frontiers open zone. Maybe not in the actual levels, you can have individually designed levels for the characters. And this is why I mentioned earlier, like 6 playable characters. You can do even more in that case, making even more teams. But anyway, imagine in the open zone, like you have Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles, for example, and you could switch between all 3 characters. You have Knuckles just gliding, Tails, remove the plane thing, because that kind of makes him a bit too OP. Have his natural flying for just different platforming elements. Then you can use Sonic for like the spin dash and whatnot. That's why it's important that he has a spin dash too, because they're obviously all going to have the boost in this area. It would just differentiate him. I just think that sounds amazing. Like, that would be so cool to be able to roam around and constantly switching between characters. And you can emulate that with like Team Dark, Shadow, Rouge, and Omega. You can have Amy join with Silver and Blaze, make that sort of the Sonic 06 team. You can bring in the Chaotix. Like, this is how you get all these characters in the game without making it too flooded. It's exactly what Sonic Heroes did, and similar to what 06 kind of did. Not the team switching, but the team idea. I think it just makes sense for Sonic in general, and especially when we make these grand, big budget games, you have all these different characters who all have like big fan bases, and we're in an era where we can appreciate the more wacky side of Sonic from the 2000s. I don't know, I think that'll be cool. That one's, again, the out there point where it doesn't have to be in there to make Frontiers 2 a good game, or, you know, substantially better than Frontiers 1, because I think Frontiers 1 is a good test game. It's a Sonic 1 again. This is why I call this Frontiers the soft reboot of the franchise, because it's a new thing. And same way how Sonic 1, when you go back to it now, it's like, okay, it's okay, but you'd rather play 2 or 3. It's similar to what Frontiers will hopefully be in the future. We have more Frontiers style games, and it's like, okay, Frontiers 1, you can see what they were going for. It was the idea, it was the first time, but you never really replay that one. I want Frontiers 2 to be Sonic 2. I want it to be Sonic 3 and Knuckles type shit. Like, I want this to be good. I want this to be elite. Let me know what you thought of the 5 points I listed, particularly the 5th one. I think that's the one that will spark some conversation. The first 4, I think everyone would agree on. At least the first 3, for sure. Just general problems that everyone probably had with Frontiers. I didn't delve into, like, story elements and all that. That could be a separate thing, but as long as the story is, like, not as pandering as the first game, I think it's fine. I'm not too fussed about stories in Sonic games, as long as it's delivered well and I like the characters. I don't really care about plot. So yeah, let me know what you think of those points. And yeah, and if you even want to see a Frontiers 2, or do you want to just revert back? Because since Frontiers 1, we've had Shadow Generations, and if you ask me, I'd be like, yeah, just go back to making regular linear games. I'm not a big fan of the open zone concept, but it'd be a bit weird to abandon it when it did relatively well. And you know, I'd rather the open zone be like a hub world for the levels rather than the main focus on the game, and the cyberspace being an afterthought. If you can try and balance that well, make everyone happy, that'd be great. And hopefully the increase in Sonic Team and the bigger budgets will make that happen. So I'm relatively excited, so I'll see you around.